Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only Hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Hosting Cruz. And guys, I am here to talk about one of the fights that took place on the undercard of Jaime Munguia versus Bananzian. And I usually and normally don't talk about undercard fights, like really undercard before the main card. But I gotta talk about this one because it's worth talking about. And I'm talking about none other than the massive upset that took place on that card. It is an upset of the year candidate and quite possibly upset of the year, man, because just in terms of paper, you got Alan Garcia from Ulysses, Kansas, 21 years old, sensational prospect. When you watch him fight, got power, excellent boxing skills, 14-0 with 11 knockouts coming in, with a bright future. And this fight was all about showing his skills, displaying his skills, and keeping him active. This was a fight that was not supposed to be competitive in any way. And those of you who watched the fight saw it prior to the ending, what was going on and what was meant to happen. Alan Garcia using his boxing skills, his, doing what he wanted with his opponent. That was in front of him because that was supposed to happen in terms of plans. But in boxing, nothing is written. It's not scripted. Boxing is the theater of the unexpected, like the famed Larry Merchant, the legendary Larry Merchant said. Boxing is the theater of the unexpected. And an unexpected is what we got. Alan Garcia lost by knockout to Ricardo Fernandez out of Spain, who came in with a record of 15 wins, 13 losses, ladies and gentlemen, with only 1 KO. You got Alan Garcia coming in with an undefeated record, 14-0, 11 knockouts, everything to win this fight. Power, boxing skills, the talent. Losing to a guy who was supposed to be an opponent in Ricardo Fernandez. 15 wins, 13 losses, 1 knockout. Reading him on paper, there was no threat on paper. 15 wins, he's lost 13 of those, 13 fights, and only 1 KO. So he's a losing fighter. He's a fighter that is used for prospect, because if you look at his resume, all his losses were to prospects like Alan Garcia, undefeated, on the rise, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights. So this was supposed to be a repeat, a routine, another day at the office for Ricardo Fernandez in a bad way. But it wasn't. Ricardo Fernandez hit the lottery in this fight. He hit the jackpot, scoring that overhand right counter shot right on the chin of Alan Garcia, and down goes Alan Garcia, flat on his back. He was not completely out of it, because he was moving, he was getting up, but he was Google Eye, he didn't know where he was. But it was a vicious, brutal shot. Very concerning. And when that shot landed, in a way, it really dropped Alan. You would think that Fernandez has more than 1 KO, or he can punch, because that was one solid shot. But no. 1 knockout, now 2 KOs. And with this fight right here, it was just a surprise and a shocker. One of those rare moments in boxing where you got a showcase fight end badly like that. Ricardo Fernandez was just supposed to show up as an opponent, and he really and literally spoiled the party. The promoters of Alan Garcia after the fight. Right now, as I make this video, gotta be wondering still what the hell just happened. Because the crazy thing about this KO, right, is that seconds right before it happened, Alan's trainer was telling him to keep your right hand up because Fernandez is going to come over with his right hand, with his right overhand right. And as she said that, Alan was going for a hook counter shot, a left hook, and as he went for it, the trainer called it. Boom! It happened as he had his hands up, his right hand up, and as he dropped it, boom! Fernandez connected. Seconds before, his trainer just told him to keep it up because he's going to come over the top with the right hand. And that's what happened. She called it, and it happened. Right on the button, Alan goes down. Ricardo scoring the upset of the year, in my opinion, at this very moment. And that's boxing. You know, you can't take anybody lightly. I always say it in my videos. Anyone with two hands that enters a boxing ring has a chance. Doesn't matter how their record looks, how they look, how non-intimidating they look. You got to take every opponent serious. So some boxers say that they train every fight like it's a championship fight. And I say better, that's good, because things like what happened to Alan Garcia could happen to anybody if you don't have this frame of mind. You know, everything was going his way. Everything was going Alan's way until he slept for a second and got slept. And that's boxing. Boxing can be a scary sport, man. You got a young, bright talent in Alan Garcia in a fight that he's supposed to win, and this happens. Just want to come out here and talk to you guys about that before I talk about the main event between Jaime Munguia and Bananzian. And it was a terrific fight, but this needed to be talked about because it was one huge shocker. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Austin Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. It is always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.